Good evening. Welcome to News at Night for Wednesday, February the 24th. I'm Colette Linden.
I'm Craig Huckerby. We have the snow ending, but keep those shovels handy because you're going to need them over the next couple of days.
This morning, General Rick Hillier, who is the chair of the COVID-19 Vaccine Distribution Task Force, provided an update on the COVID-19 vaccines rollout.
On the first week in March next week, we will go into what is truly a transition phase as we transition out of phase one with our first two priorities of those in most vulnerable circumstances and our healthcare professionals, our healthcare workers, to get into phase two when we have larger doses, larger numbers of vaccines arriving in Ontario. So starting next week, we will focus very much on completing those long-term care homes, the high-risk retirement homes, the elder care facilities, and retirement homes across Ontario. And if you just think of the numbers, that's about 626 long-term care homes, more than 775 retirement homes, with more than 100,000 residents in those combinations. And we want to get the vaccination program complete in that.
The Indigenous activist networks have put forth a press release calling for action against the United Nations Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous People, Bill C-15. Truth Before Reconciliation campaign spokesperson Russell Diabo says that the federal Bill C-15 is a sleight of hand that promises to increase and expand Indigenous rights, but actually accomplishes the opposite. This bill states that the UNDRIP will be held under Canadian law, and the whole purpose of this bill was to do exactly the opposite, hold Canadian law accountable to UNDRIP. The Indigenous Activist Network states that Bill C-15 will negatively impact all aspects of the lives of Indigenous people and nations in Canada for generations to come. Public health officials in Sudbury have dismissed students and staff from two schools following 5 confirmed cases of COVID-19. LaSalle Secondary School and Cyril Varney Public School were both closed today. All 5 cases have been identified by Public Health Sudbury and districts as variants of concern. Staff and students at the 2 schools and on the bus route are being advised by public health officials to self-isolate and get tested for COVID-19. Officials say there is no evidence that the virus was acquired or spread within the school communities, so no outbreak has yet to be declared. The 49th Field Regiment will be out on city streets this weekend. The press release says that approximately 50 Army reservists from local units will be involved in the exercise. They are going to be practicing their cold weather tactics and skills during the exercise. Residents are advised that they will be carrying unloaded personal service weapons. They will be seen on Wellington Street, Second Line East and West, and Airport Road, as well as near Pointe des Chênes Park and the Armory Building. The unit asks motorists to be cautious as they will be traveling in groups throughout the public streets. Public health officials say that a second person has died in connection with a COVID-19 outbreak at a North Bay apartment building where a variant of the virus has been found. The North Bay Parry Sound District Health Unit says the person who died had tested positive for a variant of concern. The health unit says that 42 people have contracted COVID-19 in the building outbreak, including 27 who have now tested positive for the variant. The variant was first detected in South Africa and has been detected in 1 case, while the specific variant strains in other cases have yet to be determined. The health unit announced the first death in the outbreak just a week after it was declared on February the 8th. The district is experiencing an increase in COVID-19 variant cases, which the health unit says is particularly worrying because variants spread more easily. North Bay is one of only 3 regions in Ontario that remain under a stay-at-home order.
Again, everyone, well, I'm pretty sure we will be hearing snowblowers most of the evening this evening as we dig out from this last blast of winter. We picked up around 7 centimeters, which is half of what we were forecasting, so that's good news. The bad news is, don't put those snow shovels away yet because we have more snow coming. I'll give you all those details coming up.
Drop by one of our 3 Sault Ste. Marie locations. You do life, we do taxes.
And welcome back, everyone. Well, let's take a look at what we are looking like for tonight. We're going to lose the cloud. We're going to clear out somewhat. We're going to have a little bit of cloud, but temperature is dropping off to -12. It is going to feel colder as we lose that cloud cover. If we take a look now at the temperatures around the area, we're all kind of feeling kind of cold today as we have high pressure building into the area. Minus 12 in Thunder Bay, again minus 12 here in the Sault, minus 21 in Timmins. What's going on up there? Minus 19 in Wawa. So we'll take a look at the systems map for right now. This is what's going on right now. There's that system from this morning. That's the Clipper system. It's kind of falling apart as it moves east. We have high pressure building in, and that's why we're going to cool off quite a lot tonight. We should see partly cloudy skies tomorrow, but we're also going to see some flurry activity because there is a trough associated with, well, on the north side of this high pressure, which could develop into some light flurry activity, could drop another centimeter or two for our day tomorrow. If we look at the satellite system, show you what is going on elsewhere. Again, we have this system moving out. We have high pressure moving in. We do have a little bit of the systems coming in for the weekend, Friday night into Saturday, which could give us additional snows. And then each and every single day, we have a chance of additional snow, 1 or 2 centimeters each day. We'll take a look at Thursday. This is what our day looks like. And this is the trough I was telling you about, which could develop into some light flurry activity. And a trough is basically just that. It's like an indent in the atmosphere. On either side of that trough, you're going to see some flurry activity. Other than that, we do have high pressure building in, but we have a series of low pressure systems to worry about, and that's where our threat of snow comes for the next several days, actually. If we take a look at the 3 days, this is what we look like for Thursday. Again, we're going to see in and out of cloud and sun with some chances of flurries. Temperatures a little cooler than today, minus 3 for our high. We build back up on Friday at plus 2 with a good amount of sun in the forecast, and then we see another little system work its way in for Saturday. Again, we can expect 2 to 4 centimeters on Saturday. And then for the rest of the 7-day forecast, we do have a chance each and every day of flurries, but I left the flurries out because it's just bugging me. So we're just going to say with the sun and cloud, but each and every day we will see a little bit of snow activity. Again, this is going to be a dusting to 1 centimeter, and we are still monitoring the system for next Friday into Saturday, which turns everything into rain. So we'll definitely keep an eye on that one because that could get quite messy come next weekend. That is your weather for right now. Jacob Moore is standing by with all your sports right after this.
When social distancing, remember, stay at least 6 feet away and wear your mask. Help save lives.
Have you been drinking more than usual?
Why not go dry this February? With Dry Feb, you'll
help people affected by cancer.
And you can also reduce your own risk.
Go as dry as you're willing to try. Sign up today. It's easier than you think.
Welcome back to your news at night. I'm Jacob with sports. I'm going to start off with a very surprising situation that has just came through my desk. The Montreal Canadiens have fired Claude Julien. After a 3-game losing streak, they just lost to the Senators last night. They decided they needed to make a change in the direction of the team. We've been talking the past few days how they've been on a downward slump. They've lost 3 straight now, but I did not expect them to fire their head coach. So now their new head coach is Dominique Ducharme, who will be the intern coach, and they are also bringing in Alex Burrows into the coaching staff, and they have also let go of Kirk Muller to the coaching staff. So this means one of 2 things is going to happen. Either Montreal is going to start winning, and you're going to see, okay, it was the coaching that was causing them to go on the losing streak, or they're going to continue to be kind of up and down, and then Marc Bergevin is going to be in the hot seat. The reason why I'm saying that is he's the general manager for the Montreal Canadiens, and he's the one who's built this team. So if they're not winning with a new coach, with a new assistant coach, which is basically changing up the entire playing scheme, that's going to be interesting to see if Bergevin still has a job by the end of this season. But let's move off the Montreal Canadiens into the San Jose Sharks. They canceled practice today. We still haven't heard why, which is kind of peculiar. Let's fingers crossed it's nothing to do with COVID and that it was just a fluke. Maybe the players just felt they all needed a rest. But let's move on to the Toronto Maple Leafs as they play tonight. Zach Hyman is being inserted back into the lineup, which means Nick Batan is going to be going back to the taxi squad. Now, Thornton, Muzzin, Simmons, Anderson, and Campbell are still all injured. So this means Toronto is still playing with a very depleted lineup. Michael Hutchinson will be getting the start again for Toronto, who has been playing better than expected. He's 1-1 with over a 90 save percentage, which we can't really be asking for much more than that from our third string goalie. And then Calgary is still having a little bit of injury problems with Jacob Markstrom. He's still out with a day-to-day injury, so it will be David Riddick or Big Save Dave coming in to start for Calgary. So let's go over the keys to victory for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Toronto Maple Leafs need to play a 200-foot game. And what I mean by a 200-foot game is they need to make sure they're playing just as well in the offensive zone, the neutral zone, and the defensive zone, or else they're not going to win tonight. They need to try to not worrying about matching Calgary's physicality. The reason why I'm saying that is Calgary is a much bigger team than Toronto, especially with no Muzzin, Thornton, or Simmons. Toronto's lineup is quite a bit smaller. So for Toronto, they need to make sure they play their game and not Calgary's game. I think they want to score first, especially since they got shut out against Calgary on Monday for the first time this season. They hadn't been shut out at all until that game. So they want to score first, and I would even say score often. They also want to get Matthews and Marner going again. They didn't look nearly as good in the other game, which I think has to do with Joe Thornton being injured, and John Tavares going up to that top line didn't really work. I'm looking to see Zach Hyman sliding back into a top line or second line role. For Calgary to win this game, we said Toronto doesn't want to play a physical game. Calgary wants to hit, and hit. Reason why I'm saying that is they want to be able to push Toronto around. They have a much bigger, stronger, tougher lineup than Toronto. They're not as skilled, but they are a lineup that can really beat a team down. They want to try to make sure they continue to shut down the Toronto Maple Leafs top six. Because if you shut down their top six, Toronto has a hard time scoring with their bottom six. And I would say they want to get shots from anywhere and everywhere on Michael Hutchinson. I'm not saying Hutchinson's been bad this season at all, but it's got to get to him that a lot of people in the media and the land of Twitter have been getting on his case for the way he's been playing. So I think Calgary's going to want to pepper him with shots to try to get a quick one early. Now, the last thing I want to talk to you guys about today is the Toronto Raptors. The Raptors have been snubbed from having a player appear in the All-Star game. This is the very first time a Raptor has not made the All-Star team since 2013. Kyle Lowry has made it 6 years in a row. And you know what? If you're a Raptor fan, I think you're pretty upset. Fred VanVleet deserved a spot on the All-Star team. He's having a career season. He's been one of the best players on the Raptors and frankly, one of the better shooting guards / point guards in the NBA. When TSN talked to Fred VanVleet, he said he wasn't surprised that he wasn't been named to the All-Star team. He said he kind of saw it coming and he figured he wasn't going to make the team, and now he's just focusing on Toronto Raptors winning games and proving other teams wrong. But I'm going to have more for you about that with Fred VanVleet, if he should have been an All-Star or not been an All-Star, more about the Claude Julien firing, and more about the Toronto Maple Leafs at their injuries on 705 Sports coming up at Friday at 4 p.m. But for now, we got to get back to news. Colette's patiently waiting to get back out there and give you some more news, so we'll be right back right after this break.
Loss is something that never leaves you. Donate $45 today to help victims of impaired driving. A message from Mad Canada.
Is going to a party really worth it? Putting yourself at risk puts everyone at risk. Help limit the spread of COVID-19.
The U.S. Army Corps of Engineers is using a new tool to help visualize the new lock at the Soo. Lock operators and design members are using virtual reality to see what the new lock will look like from a new perspective. The Soo locks are located in Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan in Chippewa County, situated on the St. Mary's River at Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan. The Soo locks are a vital gateway for vessels, including Great Lake freighters, to transit the 21 elevation change at the St. Mary's Falls. The Poe lock opened in 1969 and was the last lock built in the Soo lock system, the only passage between Lake Superior and the lower lakes. It has been over 2 months since we last saw the Sault Thunderbirds on the ice, but tonight they will be back in action for the first time since December 20th. The Sault Thunderbirds will return to the ice tonight for their first game of the year, as they will take on the Blind River Beavers at 7 p.m. at the John Rhodes Community Center right here in Sault Ste. Marie. The Thunderbirds enter tonight's game with a record 4 wins, 3 losses, and 1 shootout loss, while the Beavers come in with a record of 5 wins, 3 losses, and 1 shootout. Sault Ste. Marie and the surrounding areas are a great destination for outdoor adventures, as well as photography of its beautiful landscapes. Robert Breckenridge's photograph was recently featured on the Instagram page of NASA. A photographer by passion, Breckenridge is extremely happy and could not believe himself when he saw his photo on NASA's social media and used as a thumbnail as well. He had posted this photograph on photo sharing platform Flickr, from where NASA picked this up. The picture that got featured was taken by him a couple of years ago and portrays the planet Venus, which he captured from GrowCap. Another one of his beautiful pictures is from the Northern Lights, taken a few days ago, also at GrowCap, and was featured on the official page of Sault Ste. Marie, both on Instagram and Facebook. On February the 22nd, Algoma Steel celebrated the first arc at its second ladle metallurgy facility. This marks another major milestone in the company's drive towards sustainability and is a key step in commissioning this new steel refining facility, unlocking 100,000 tons of added capacity to deliver advanced grades of steel. The new 2.1 million ton ladle metallurgy furnace augments the existing capacity of No. 1 LMF to deliver quality, precision grades, and enhances productivity to meet strong market demand. Well, Craig, we have a lot of snow that fell overnight. Are we expecting any more?
The snow is over, as I said in the weather forecast, and also, we can expect snow every single day for the next 5 days, but not a lot, like maybe 1 or 2 centimeters. So just, keeps the shovels going.
I think we can handle that. Thank you for joining us on News at Night for this Wednesday, February the 24th. On behalf of Craig and Colette, please stay tuned for more news and weather and enjoy your evening.